Years ago, they called the districts, now they call them wards. We were the 15th ward.
They are the sons and the daughters of what used to be the 15th Ward. To understand their story, we have to journey back to the mid-1900s to a small, close-knit neighborhood just to the east and south of downtown Syracuse.
We didn't really leave the ward that much. We didn't go north. We went east up to Thornton Park. That's about as far as we got. But we didn't move out of our neighborhood that much. That's probably why we were so close.
Junie Dunham was there since the 1930s. But before him, during the century from the mid-1800s to the 1950s, the 15th Ward had a very different makeup.
15th ward was very small, comprised of mostly Jews and blacks, affectionately called Jewtown, the old 15th ward. Blacks really didn't start moving into Syracuse until the 30s. I was born in 34. Blacks after the Second World War migrated to Syracuse from the south, 47, 48, 49.
Marion Irvin came from South Carolina.
They were, hard-working people who came up for a better life. They didn't want to work on the farm because it wasn't enough work for everybody anyway. So they came up for a better opportunity.
As the Jewish population started to move out, the 15th Ward became home to Syracuse's black population.
You could walk around any time of night, any place, and, if anybody bothered you, could run in somebody's house that you knew.
That's right,
but nobody bothered you.
We're looking at what helped hold us together was the churches, was Dunbar. Huntington was over there at my age coming up.
We stand on the street corners. A couple guys, they have their group over there. We have our group over here at different corners in the same block. See who can sing the best to get the girls to come over to you. People would cuss us out, get the hell away from my window with that noise, stuff like that.
Many of those memories captured through the lens of Richard Breland.
You have to hit the clicker up and down.
He's best known today as Central New York's movie host, but at 11, Richard Breland was taking photos around his home in the 15th Ward.
Where was this at?
This is the house where we lived in for almost 26 years.
Although to some the ward was known as the slums or the ghetto because of the aging housing, the life seen in Breland's photos was a good one.
I wanted to take pictures at the time because it was fun to look at the pictures of people, and then I said I may not see them anymore.
He could never have known just how prophetic those words would be.
All your highways went through black neighborhoods. In other words, they moved the blacks right out. They went to the area of least resistance.
Many black and marginalized communities were redlined, like the one here in this map, denied mortgages under discriminatory lending practices. That meant developers stayed away, and during the interstate boom, many of those communities were torn down to make room for highways. The story wasn't much different in the 15th Ward.
We heard about the tearing up of all the houses around State Street, Adams Street, all the places where people we knew lived, just decimated.
Urban renewal also came into play in the 50s. Its goal, to revitalize the city and eliminate substandard housing. For the economic elite, it would bring growth to the city. For those in the 15th Ward, the construction of 81 and urban renewal programs brought decimation.
People were demonstrating so that the houses would not be torn down, but we didn't have the resources, the political knowledge, or the financial knowledge, how to stop it.
For those who lived in the 15th Ward, it seemed the future had already been decided.
We used to sit around and talk about it. My friends. Why did they destroy our neighborhood and boom, this and that? You had no say. We had nobody, we had no representation. There were no blacks when I was a kid in office.
Churches and organizations like the NAACP and CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality, protested all the demolition work.
And we would picket kids, adults, teenagers, black and white. It was not, just all blacks or all whites. It was all of us being involved in our homes, basically, and the heart being ripped out of the 15th Ward, essentially. It felt like it felt like, why do we have to picket to save houses we've already lived in? So it felt like somebody had ripped out a part of my soul.
Despite the protests, the demolition began.
All you can see is, they're coming in and these big trucks and whatever going in. It was heartbreaking because this was our home. This is where we grew up in. And to see someone come in to demolish it and it's gone.
They tore down Bethany. Yeah. When 81 and 690 make that curve, that's where Bethany used to be. St. Philip's was on Adams Street.
Right around the corner.
Elman Street, right around the corner, took that out.
We had lost everything that we had ever known. We had lost the camaraderie of our neighbors and our friends, and we just, it was horrible.
Everything was different. I was only in the service for 2 years. And all where I used to live, all that was gone. All was gone. It changed for the better because they tore these old houses down that were old and raggedy and boom, boom, boom. No, it changed because they went to the area of least resistance, tear the property down, put the highways through. Once they tore all the houses down, blacks had to go somewhere because it was, all our neighborhood was gone, demolished.
You can see it in these headlines: house rentals refused to Negroes, or nobody will sell Negro officer a home. The grim reality of starting over was setting in.
I said, My name is Mr. Dunham. I'm calling to rent an apartment. It was in the paper. And right off the bat, I told him I was a Negro. Back then, he said Negro. And he said, oh, Mr. Dunham, it's not me. I just rent the place. It's the landlord. He doesn't want any Negroes here.
You would see something listed in the paper, and when you would get there, they say, oh, it was just rented. Or they would say, I don't mind, the landlord would say, I don't mind you living here, but the neighbors might object.
Core, we did the black and white team, the salt and pepper teams. Black couple goes out, then the white couple, they don't get the apartment.
Right.
The white couple goes out, they get the apartment. You send the black person back again, they don't get the apartment. So we did that all over.
On the same day as the Syracuse March, Mayor William Walsh spoke from the steps of the county courthouse saying, quote, "It is essential that the blight of discrimination be guarded against and that equal opportunity for all to be advanced." Housing complaints, though, were still piling up with the State Commission of Human Rights.
In many places we couldn't go because they didn't want us there, you know, when they were moving us. So they said, well, we move everybody south.
Many black families migrated to other parts of the city, mainly the South Side. They left behind that close-knit community feel of the 15th Ward.
You know, we get together, we talk about different spots just to reminisce, but we can't show our kids what we used to have and what we used to do and where we used to go for entertainment.
When we moved to East Castle Street, they were also, they got that now, they call it Brick City. All right, they were just starting with that. All those were homes, all the way up on East Castle, all the way down Oakwood, all the way down State Street. They were private, they were apartment houses. They were 1, 2, 3, 4 families. They all were knocked down.
Everybody was upset when they tore it down.
Well, it's not only enjoyed living, we didn't have any other place to go.
Yeah, but you didn't care about going any place else because you didn't know any other place to go.
Right,
I mean,
right.
As
There
a
were no
kid,
opportunities,
as a young
right.
teenager, I could care less because all my friends were over there.